He got you.
Oh, dude,
Hello.
your intro looks awesome.
Hello and welcome to the 54th episode of This Is Difficult podcast, the show where we talk about video games and other things, but mostly just video games. We're back after kind of a hiatus. We got
only
some
3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, we got things worked out. We'll be back to our regular Sunday schedule as of this coming Sunday, which I'm excited about. But we wanted to get the ball rolling, so we're back and we're happy to see you guys all here.
So happy. Hi guys.
Yeah, I'm Paul. I'm here with Josh and 4Gs, and who is also
I'm
Colin.
4Gs. I'm also Colin.
I've heard of that guy.
And I forgot how to podcast, so this will be a rocky one.
Oh wow, we got a crew right now. Poppy and everyone.
Did you see what Adam said?
I love all
What
these
a cool
people.
opening screen.
So that
Oh, he's
opening,
been
if you
drawn
guys
by a
like
true
that,
True legend. A legend that is more like a myth now, if you think about it.
absolutely, he is mythical. If you like that opening screen and you would like some art and assets done for yourself, hit Comics and Coffee up, and he does those kind of things.
And if you like that,
just half of the equation.
If you like that
it's more
start
like
screen,
Colin
and you
helps
like,
too.
oh,
Colin
90% of the equation.
Colin did the
90%.
animation.
He did the jiggly
He
part.
did
Plus
the
10%.
Yeah, all the wiggly stuff on the screen. That's Colin's doing.
Yeah.
No one
So
knows
if you
how
like that.
works.
I still need to finish your little thing, like flapping in the wind, basically.
Yeah,
There's my little thing
that'd
I'm
be
going to
cool.
tweak about.
There's
it.
some
They do
other stuff I
everything for
want to
me.
have you do. We should probably talk about, but yeah.
And now that I have your stuff, I can do that really easily.
Paper Mario transition. Hello.
Hey, Paper Mario transition.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Book flip.
Oh, that'd be
Whatever,
cool.
Right?
Yeah, transitions are things that
A
I
book
just
flip?
don't have.
I did that
don't
for
have
Adam
good ones.
actually.
Oh, you did the book flip? I'm talking
Yeah.
about like.
Oh,
You know what
I
I'm
don't know
talking
about that.
Like it's a page.
I like how
turning.
you knew exactly what I was talking about. Okay, we'll work on it. Anyway,
Cool.
I don't do anything.
You guys
like
been
that.
playing video games lately?
I've been playing.
Have I been playing video? No, I've been making my own video game actually.
What game
which
have you
he's
been making?
good at.
What?
I think.
Tell us
Wait,
about
tell
it.
you all. I just started. Like it's like learning how to make the character actually move.
Is it like the ones in college?
No, it's totally different. I haven't really like fully fleshed it out at all. I'm really just learning coding at this point. So it's more just like learning how to like do anything at all. You know, I've made like a million test scenes in Unity, but like I want it to be like a survival game that's like co-op. It'd be kind of fun.
Ooh, you should do like a
Third
2D
person.
DBD.
I think it'd be like a 3D actually. I was thinking. I thought about 2D actually, like a tile map kind of thing, but I prefer 3D though, personally. So I was thinking a 3D game where you basically just survive, but it's not quite the wilderness. Like there's towns and that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
But then also there's like classes you can be as well. And so the first class I was going to work on was just like the night class, like a very standard, like, you know, you go to this night, he tells you need to do this quest, and you become this better and you get ranked up. And
Is it like an RPG?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Sounds like Stardew Valley meets D&D.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
And then, but like it's
okay.
gonna continue to go on from there. Like I was gonna get ridiculous. Like the depth you can go in each class is just gonna be like kind of crazy. Like what you can do with it, you know. So
Sounds incredible.
I'm not sure. I haven't really fully fleshed it out in my head yet. So I'm not sure if I'll continue or not. I don't just get my toes wet at this point to figure out if this is something I actually want to do or not. So
You've hurt Adam's
been fun.
feelings by not inviting him to help you make.
He
your
said,
video
I
game."
genuinely thought we had a friendship, and yet.
Yeah, how dare you?
oh, I don't know.
He's just fucking around.
I don't know. I'm man. Some people have already offered me their help, and I'm just like, look, I'm a captain without a fucking steering wheel here. Like, you don't want to be on this ship right now, you know? Like, I don't have a full like fleshed out idea, and if I'm asking you to like draw me stuff or like make me assets that I don't use potentially, you know? So
Yeah.
Like at this point, I'm really just like in like the pre-planning stages and like trying to figure out if I can even do this. So like, I'm learning like C# right now and like how to like
Dude,
make
C#
a character move.
wild.
It's hard.
It's a fun note.
Yeah.
No idea. I am not the creator here.
C# super mathematic. Like
Yeah,
there's a
I'm
lot
really
of lot
dumb.
of math involved in C#. That's crazy.
But it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
That's awesome.
Come
I'm
on.
super excited for you, man. I'm super
Let's go.
excited.
I'll
Okay,
play
Adam,
it.
fine. You can be part of it. I just didn't think you had time or like I
There's
didn't
only
wanna,
be someone
like,
with a ton of experience in project management and scaling. Oh wait.
all right. But also it's not the game you wanted to make either. I know you want to make more of a Zelda rogue like 2D game,
Zelda
Which
Rogue 2D
Unity-
game. What?
Unity can do that, by the way, really well with tile maps and
Why
everything.
aren't you making a 2D Zelda roguelike? Like I want. I want that bad.
Speaking of 2D Zelda roguelikes that I played this week, Swords of Ditto, man. I've owned it for a long time, and I played it very briefly by myself. But my brother, I was actually out visiting Adam this weekend, and we played it co-op, and it was freaking awesome. Oh my god! Like, it was so much fun. It is absolutely the like non-Zelda Zelda experience that I've been like really craving. We need to play it. In fact, I think we should do it as like a game of the week or a game of the month sometime.
Do that.
Because we can play it on Parsec.
We can parsecs each other.
We can parsec.
Well, we don't need a parsec again. We can just use directly into Steam.
Parsed
Steam has a
course.
parsec built in now, basically.
Yeah, we could
Yeah, which is
Steam
incredible.
sec
Remote
it.
play.
We could Steam sec it.
Steam. It's gonna be some steamy parsecs.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and we should because it's awesome. It is so much fun. It's
Sounds
so much
fantastic.
fun. It's very hard
How many
too.
people can play it?
I think only 2, so we maybe have to
You sit this one out, Colin.
tag.
I thought you were like,
It's Zelda. I can't possibly miss.
I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong
I
about
should
do
that.
it
buy it.
solo.
It's only $15.
Yeah, it's $15.
Or-
I
It's
already
like
have
10
it
on
on
G2.
Switch, but Switch is
just
so
thinking-
Oh,
like
it's on the Switch.
it is on the
Oh,
Switch. I own it on the
wow.
Switch, but it's not
Oh, the damn Joy-Con.
multiplayer. It's only couch co-op. Like the
Ah.
creator made a point of making it only couch co-op, so that there's not like an online multiplayer mode for like console.
Josh,
So the best way
Parsec.
for us to play it would be
What?
on PC.
check your Discord. You're gonna shit
God.
yourself.
Did you just give it to me for free?
No. Check your
Because
Discord.
that'd be even better.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that again.
But look how much it is, though.
Oh my god. Hold on. Wait, I didn't get there yet.
It's
I'm just
very
waiting. I see the
affordable.
G2A link. Guys. It's literally. Can you see this?
No.
There it is.
Wow, very inexpensive.
$289.
Very nice.
I'm buying it right now.
Do it. Yeah, I'm
Fuck yeah.
gonna pick it up this week too. For
Wait,
the
if you
PC.
play it, Josh, I'll play it on your stream. We'll just, we'll just have out. We'll just.
So now
double
you're-
out Paul.
now you're cutting me out.
Elbow.
Yeah.
All right.
It was your
Coincidentally,
idea.
we're
middle child, I'm
auditioning
really
2
good
new
at
hosts
this.
for the podcast right now.
Yeah, me and Forge are starting our own podcast.
It'll be 4 people, and we need 2 hosts.
It's gonna be called "This Is More Difficult."
2 times as difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. We can switch off. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out because it's definitely. I want you guys both to play it. It's a freaking great game.
I've played this again. I've
No,
played this game
Colin's never played it. He was just telling us how he's never played this game
I've
before.
played with Adam before.
When did you say that?
Adam's cheating on you.
That's offensive.
We played it on the Switch though.
Yeah, that's what we were
It was
playing.
super
on.
cute. It was like one of the first times I actually play Switch for like a long period of
Yeah.
time, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." and
It's got
everything. And
great like art style is awesome. So one of the things, like, let me compare it to the remake of Link's Awakening real quick, and why I think it's in a way better.
Paul says Ocarina of Time has bad graphics.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do, and I'll defend that point in a minute. But
Forgies defend my side.
so
Ocarina of Time has bad graphics.
it does.
He's
Hang on.
That's not what we're talking about. Listen.
Hang on.
So, so Swords of Ditto has more of a cartoony, like almost hand-drawn look to it that translates better to like a big screen, right? Like you don't see any pixelation, you don't see like everything looks smooth and good on the Switch on this game, right? Whereas Link's Awakening looks freaking fantastic, don't get me wrong, but when you play
So
it on a
good.
big screen, you see a little pixelation. It kind of takes you out of that like
A little bit of
cool
blur.
like panorama look that you have, you know? So in a way, I think that's a better art design for that style of game. Just because it's
Then Wind Waker. Wait,
No,
how we can-
Link's Awakening, you schmuck.
yeah, where have you been?
Oh, I thought you said Wind Waker for some reason. Hey,
Oh.
you got a subscription.
I did. And then Dari with the resub.
Did I hear Ocarina of Time?
She's playing it right now.
Oh, Zelda's
My
time. What do you think
goodness.
of the graphics from someone playing it currently?
Okay. So here's all I said about the graphics of Ocarina of Time. I think
It's the
they're
worst game ever.
no, I didn't. I love that
I'm
game.
kidding,
It's one of
I'm
my favorite
kidding.
games
You
ever.
hate that game?
Oh my lord, you guys are so difficult.
We will like kill ourselves over this game.
They're fine. She
The
says.
graphics
See,
are
Paul, they're
dated.
fine.
The graphics
says
are
they're
dated. They don't look good. They didn't age very well. I love the game. It didn't age very well. In fact, it's really hard for me to go from playing the 3DS version back to the 64 version because the 64 version doesn't look good. Like the 3DS version looks clean, everything looks better. The 64 version looks like a bunch of triangles.
For me,
It's a
I
great
like
game.
That it's cut and stoic, though. For me, like the 3DS version smooths out some of those like rigid, rough graphics that I think kind of give it flavor. I think it might.
I think
be
the
a little bit
3D.
of
I think the 3DS version was the intended look. You know, I think they wanted it to look like that. They just couldn't on the 64.
I think it's due for a massive overhaul, though. Either way, like
a Breath of the Wild overhaul.
like a Breath of the Wild, or even Twilight Princess with enhanced graphics.
100% agree. I think it
I'd
deserves
rather have
it.
Breath
Yeah,
graphics,
absolutely.
Though, yeah.
Yeah, I think it deserves it for sure. But yeah, it's dated. That doesn't make it a bad game. It's still an amazing game.
Yeah.
I do agree with Comics and Coffee. If you've
Yeah, I
never
was just
played
about
a
to
Zelda
say this,
game,
yeah.
I don't think it's the best Zelda game to start on.
And I'm gonna comment on what you just said in the comments, also 4Gs. So it was good for us because it was literally like the first thing we ever played, and like as you're saying, everything was not dated at the time. Like say it was dated, because our opinion obviously doesn't matter in this case, but like now it is kind of like that. So where you're playing it, and it's like, okay, this is a 30-year-old game. How is this going to be like a first entryway point? So I think I agree with Paul in saying that like Link's Awakening is a much better entryway to Zelda. The new one,
Especially,
full.
I would argue that the old one is a good entryway, but I think the new one is a better one.
Yeah. I do, and only
Yeah.
because of I only think I would go with the new one over the old one because of like the sword and shield and all
Mhm.
that shit being like more streamlined.
Yeah.
Control wise, but it is probably the most like. Not that it's easy, but the most simple Zelda to get into and wrap your head around.
Right. It's a shorter game. It's got more simple systems in it to learn, so you're not necessarily dealing with like super complex combat systems.
Exactly.
Not that Ocarina of Times are like super duper complex,
Some of the
but
combat is complex.
if you're not used to that style of game, it could be a lot. You know.
Yeah.
The story's much easier to follow, and at the same time is really good.
I think it's one of the best. Yeah.
So it's just a really very easily digestible
Yeah.
Zelda that like will instantly make anyone fall in love with the
Yeah.
series.
My
you know?
only thing,
And then
is
from there you
only-
could go anywhere.
Yeah. My only strike against it is that although the story is incredible and amazing, it doesn't hit the line of like the true lore canon line. Like it's not really, you know what I mean? Like how Majora's Mask even had Zelda and Song of Time. This doesn't have like anything referencing other games, so it's hard.
It
to, like,
kind of
wrap your head
does.
around them.
It takes place right after
But they don't even mention the Triforce or Zelda or anything, or Ganon or anything.
so basically it's like what happens to Link when he's not fucking
Or
like
does it happen to Link?
right? Yeah, okay. Yeah. We could totally get into that.
Seriously, one of the best stories.
They do
ever.
mention
I
Zelda,
just beat
yeah.
it the other day.
Yeah.
They do. I just beat it the other day again, as you guys saw, and it was amazing. I was just like, every time I'm in awe of that ending.
It's so
Truly
good. God
incredible
damn, it's so
ending.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Truly incredible.
And you see the fucking yeah. It's
Yep.
amazing.
Don't spoil it. Mandari's probably going to play this. So.
it has like probably one of the most interesting existential questions out of
Yes.
any of the games, because like that whole experience was real,
This is exactly what I talked
and if
about
it
at
was
the end. Maybe we
did all
shouldn't
those
spoil
people-
it. The thing is, what we can say is like, what is real to you?
yeah.
Like, that's what I took away. Like, Link has to decide like what is important and real to him in his heart, and that's
Yeah.
like why he's like, without giving away too much, he's like sad at the end, but then he looks up and smiles.
Have you ever had a dream like that?
Incredible.
Yes.
Yes,
I have.
we're like the
I had a
Hulk.
dream.
Yeah.
I had a dream. It was the most profound
I've gotten
dream
very
of my
quiet.
entire
Oh.
life. I can
My
hear
mic
pretty
okay?
well. Yeah,
I
I
dream my
can hear.
sister dumped cereal on her head.
Oh, that actually happened. But
And then I woke up and she wasn't even my sister.
No, she did it. Anyway, no. I had this dream that took place over the course of like 3 months, but it was all in one night, right? Like I had the
Damn.
dream one time, but the dream was like 3.5 months long.
Weird.
And so I
Can
like
you imagine?
I
Oh,
met
obviously.
people and I built relationships and I like had a life within this environment.
Wow.
And when I woke up, that none of it existed, and it was a little bit traumatic. Not gonna lie,
It was real to you.
it was real. Yeah,
The
it felt
memory still
very real.
stays.
Except for it was a zombie dream. There was a lot of, so it wasn't like very realistic, but it all, I don't know,
You
whatever.
were like super stoked on it being real. You're like, okay,
Right.
thank God that shit's not real.
A lot of my friends died.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh God.
So,
That wasn't your friend yet then.
yeah.
Colin probably died.
So I was pretty stoked to wake up and find out that they were still alive. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I think that's awesome. Like, have you guys had dreams like that?
No,
not
like
really
that.
like that
That's
exactly.
to agree. I
Maybe
had,
like
like,
a full day, but yeah.
Yeah.
I had like people that are like, "This isn't a dream. We need to wake up," and I was like,
Whoa,
"What the fuck?"
fucking weird.
I was like,
Yeah.
"What?" And then
That's
like,
kinda,
I forced myself to wake up, and I was like, "Fuck that person."
I very often have dreams that bleed into reality.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it happened the other night. I was having a dream, a very strange dream, and I was
it a dry
talking.
dream?
I was talking in my sleep, and my wife woke me up and was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And I continued talking along the same line of thought that I was in the dream. So I like tried to continue the conversation, and she's like,
Damn.
"What the hell are you talking about?"
Damn. Wait, Colin, do you remember the one time in Arkansas? This actually reminds me of this. And I fell asleep in the car. We were like driving to the liquor store or whatever. And I look over at you. I thought I was awake. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. We're just talking. Like literally nothing had happened. And he's like, it's time to wake up. And he pushes me on the forehead with his finger. And I just like feel electricity and wake up. And I was like, did you just touch me? Like, what just happened? He's like, you've literally been asleep for like 20 minutes, dude. What are you
I remember that. You were like freaking out.
Colin, did you
I told him
hypnotize
I
him?
had- it was-
No,
I don't know, but it
Because
seamless.
that was a hypnosis.
but I used to
move.
do that.
I know.
Yeah.
he
I
did.
know.
No,
I know.
I
you
was
used
definitely
to do
just
that.
driving. I was too like
Yeah,
concentrated on
it was
driving.
perfectly seamless though. It was insane. Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's cool. We should talk about video games.
Oh yeah.
What's a video game?
So
Wake up.
hey,
Colin.
let's talk about this. I had my
There's
first.
no Zelda.
cereal on head.
That happened. Do you want to know that story? That happened. That was a weird story.
Just be
It's a
important,
short
Paul.
story. It's
Be
a-
important.
That's a totally different story, but that's a good one too. No, I literally had a dream. You remember when you get those, like you used to back in the day get like those sample boxes of cereal in the mail? It was like cornflakes or like whatever. Yeah.
So random. I remember that.
Yeah, and you could just like open the box and pour the milk
Yeah.
into the box, and yeah.
Oh yeah. Those
So-
are good times.
So I had a dream that one of those came in the mail, and I got it, and my mom let me have it, and like, but she like told me to like share it with my brother and sister. I was like, that's weird, but okay. And so, whatever, shared it. And then like Rachel, my sister, asked if she could like finish like the milk, like drink the milk, right? And so I'm like, okay, sure. So I give it to her, and she takes like one sip and then just dumps it on her head.
Damn.
Right? This was
On
all
her
in my
head.
dream.
Oh.
This was all in my dream, right? The very next day, the
Damn.
exact thing happened. I
What?
swear on
Got a
my
thing in the mail.
yeah, I swear to God. I swear to God the exact
Yeah.
same thing happened with the head dumping and everything. It was bizarre.
Now, how many siblings do you have?
There's 6 of us total. So
What?
yeah,
I just found out about this Rachel
yeah.
person.
yeah, my Adam's
Just
Adam's
now.
my older brother, and then I have 4 younger sisters.
Ah,
So Rachel's the
How many-
oldest of my younger sisters.
Ah, nice. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of us. We are
There's A
legion.
million of
A
us.
million
We
of
are
us.
legion. We are legion. Too many.
Yeah. So check this out.
Just so many.
Thanks to 4Gs.
Just so many kids.
Me.
Thanks
Damn, we
to
did something.
thanks
What'd
to
I do?
Colino, I had my first real VR experience this weekend.
Oh, right. That was me.
It
Nice.
was Colin's doing, which was awesome. Okay, and like we've talked about VR about a million times.
I'm
on the
so
podcast.
excited you liked it. Like, I've been like screaming at you guys until I'm blue in the fucking face how exciting VR is. You're like, man, it's just just
A
not
lot
there
of
yet. I
people
was like,
need to play it. A lot of people are so opinionated about VR, and then when they play it, it completely changes their opinion, just because it is so different to actually be in it as opposed to like talk about it.
Absolutely.
It has to be
Yeah.
played. It has to be played.
Absolutely. So my previous VR experiences were always like the this,
Yeah.
like
yeah, exactly.
which is awful. It's
Yeah,
awful. It's
so
so
awful.
awful. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not sold. I don't think that it could be that much better. And when you see like other people playing it, like you see their field of view is like, like this, it's
A
smaller than
square,
like a TV.
yeah.
And you're like, this seems bad. How are you going to get immersed in that?
Yeah. How could it possibly? Because it looks like a flat screen to the viewer.
Right.
Exactly.
yeah.
It totally is. I can't even explain how different it is, right? I still have problems with it, but I can definitely now see where in like the next couple generations of VR, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. It adds that depth. Like the depth of feel is truly like almost a fourth dimension to gaming that never existed before. Like you're literally in, like just putting your hand out and you're like, okay, I'm in the fucking game.
Yeah.
Like you're not playing as a character in the game. You are that character in the game. It's
Dude, playing Super Hot was such an insane
Ooh.
experience.
Yeah.
Like I was whipping out like real karate, like it's crazy. Like the feel of like reaching up and grabbing the gun and then turning and
say the
shooting
thing about the
like,
bow and arrow. What is this? This is an embarrassing thing.
No, it's not.
I didn't use the bow and arrow. You telling Colin to say the thing about the bow and arrow?
Faye
He
is
did talk
saying-
about the
Faye
bow
is,
and arrow
like,
a lot
begging
when
him
we
to
were.
say something, and Colin in the chat is like, "Stop! I don't want to talk about it." And now I have to know.
Colin mentioned it like 4 times while I was playing, like how
Oh,
cool
is
the
that
bow
what
and
it
arrow
is?
feels.
He's
Yeah.
so
In
embarrassed for some
Skyrim.
reason.
Yeah.
What's happening? Skyrim VR, dude.
Yeah, Skyrim's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's just like cool when you pull the bow back. It like vibrates just slightly to give a feel like it's actually rubbing the
The quiver.
bow
or-
against the
what's it
actual
called?
like wood grain.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're actually pulling the thing against it.
The haptic feedback is
I
huge.
cannot tell you how many times I've heard him say this.
Yeah. The haptic feedback is a big deal, right? Like
Haptic, that's the word.
there's moments where if it wasn't there, you wouldn't necessarily feel immersed, right?
Yeah.
But because just these slight vibrations or these slight, bits of feedback that you get like make you actually feel like you've got something physically in your hand or, like something's actually happening, it
Yeah.
really changes the experience. Initially you do kind of get the screen door effect, but like once you start moving around or like once you get into a game, you don't even notice it because it like you become so absorbed in that world that you're in.
Yeah.
It's kind of bizarre. And Collins is like a little bit of a dated like VR headset compared to what's out right now. I can only imagine how like the newer sets feel.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
is crap.
I wouldn't say it's crap. No, it was
Just
great. It was
kidding.
great,
Actually, there's
but
a lot of
like
things
there's
about it that are
just
really
a lot
great.
of yeah.
It's just not the top of the line one.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
just yeah.
My one
Actually, the
thing with
screen's better than the
VR
first Vive that came out, actually, in terms of quality,
Yeah.
resolution.
Yeah.
My
Merc-
one thing is the putting it on your face part is like it's gotta
Sweaty.
evolve.
It's
gonna
gotta
evolve. Out of that.
evolve.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be holograms in your room at one point where you don't have anything on your face because right now this how it is cannot be the future of gaming. It has to evolve in some way
It
because
does.
I can't see myself being in a box for like 5 hours straight.
Yeah.
Like and then it adds some kind of like actual physical effects on people sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I'm dizzy. I don't know where the fuck I am.
Yeah.
As opposed to like pressing a button and a hologram appears in your room would be incredible. That's
I
my
agree.
only thing against VR is that right now it's not at full capacity.
I
yet.
agree, and I think that's on the horizon. But yeah, I completely agree with you on
I
that.
wanted to vom, said Faye.
So okay.
Nice.
Merc Tool asked in the chat, like, did I get dizzy or sick?
Yeah.
Yes and no. So like in a well executed game, absolutely not. Right. If the frame rate's good and like
Yeah.
the movement, like the method of movement is good, everything feels natural. Now I did play. What was that gladiator game that I played, Colin? What was that called?
Gorn.
Gorn. So Gorn
Yeah.
has a really terrible movement method, and the movement method itself isn't bad. You won't get like sick doing that, but it just sucks because you have to like drag yourself with your arms. It's very bizarre. If you try and change the movement method, or at least when I tried to change the movement method, it was so sensitive that it was like whipping the camera all around everywhere. And I definitely started to feel motion sickness. And I was like panicking trying to get like the fucking thing fixed.
And that's just more of like the headset, like how it works. Like it can't like perfectly be your eyes. Like if it could, like every time you looked, it like changed your view. But like you're saying, like it can't possibly match you perfectly. And like a lot of it is like when it turns, some games are like it just moves completely to like it has like 6-degree angles, or six turning points, and it'll just like blink to that point.
I heard that there's a theory on what causes motion sickness. I don't know if it's true or not, but the idea is that your body thinks that you've been poisoned, and so it makes you try and throw up. Basically, it's like something's not right. You're seeing things that you shouldn't be seeing. Like when you like move in VR but don't move in real life, your body inner ear can tell, and so it goes, whoa, something visually is not making sense here, And so it's like you probably should vomit. There's probably something inside you that's messing with you.
Yeah,
interesting.
That's a theory. I don't know if it's true or not, though.
Absolutely,
that could be right.
So the next iteration of the PlayStation VR allegedly is going to have eye tracking built in.
He's saying retina sensors.
So that would be cool. I think that'd help. I think there's a lot of things that could help, but and I think that it's getting there. The problem is this: is there enough interest in VR for them to continue developing? Right? I think now we're on the cusp of it not being there.
We're on the precipice of if it gets better and becomes more like people can play it if it's not $1 bajillion, you know what I mean? Like, here's your chance to play it, someone who's never been able to afford it before, and it gets elevated above what we're talking about, like the physical like limitations, then it can absolutely continue to be like a perfect thing. But right now, I think people are still saying, and I agree that like like at home, just like holding a fucking controller or your keyboard and looking at your TV is just the future of gaming still, because that's how it's always been.
Right.
So you're totally right. It's like teetering on like, will it be good? Will it be this? Yeah.
Spatial accessibility is an issue too. Like I don't have room for VR at my house.
Totally is. I don't. Issue.
Especially not at my computer. I could probably do it like if the PS5's PSVR is awesome, I might get it for downstairs, right? I'd be able to do it in my living room, but that's the only place in my house I'd be able to do it.
Yeah. Not all of us have a green screen basement.
Right. Yeah.
What? Who has that?
That is pretty freaking awesome, honestly.
No, it's pretty incredible. I'm looking at it right now.
But yeah, needless to say, that was my experience with VR, and it was awesome. I my mind has been changed on VR. I actually am now looking forward to the future of VR, and I have 4Gs to thank for that.
Yay, he is. Yeah, now that you've dipped your toe in, like you understand. Like you're on our side now, where you're like, this is crazy. Like it has to be experienced, truly.
Yeah. It's not one of those things you can explain to someone. I knew I'd like it, but like I also
you fell in love.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I mean, like I said, like when I think about VR now and the games I played, I think about them completely different. Like they're actual real memories. Like places I've been in, like because you can look up and see things. Where in games you're usually looking down at your character, or like there's not a sense of like depth to the room you walk into.
No, for sure.
It's a whole different experience.
I have a friend who actually doesn't like VR for that very reason. They're like, the fact that it feels so unreal, I can't deal with that. It's like I'm not in a real world. And I'm like, don't you fucking ever play a regular video game? It's the same thing, but it's just on your face. Yeah. So I don't know. There's still people that are like hesitant for absolutely no reason. Yeah.
I mean, I think that was my favorite part about it was like, it's
same.
so different. It's so different from sitting down and playing a video game. Like you're actually something that Colin mentioned that really stuck with me is you remember the spaces like they're real places, like they're a place that you actually have been, Like you walk into a room that doesn't exist, but you remember it like it's a real room. That's one thing that that's one thing that I have trouble with in actual games, right? Like I've got to play like a certain map of whatever over and over to really commit that to memory. Whereas when I went in through VR, I can visualize everywhere that I was, because it was like an actual experience of me being there.
That's actually a huge thing I didn't even think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're actually perceiving it as the character. You're like, oh, okay, I saw the map. I literally read the map physically. Like, I know what to do now. Instead of being like, cool, click, 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 A button, like, click, speed through this, like, whatever, text, I don't care. It's like in your fucking face. Like, the characters are talking to your face.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's so much more immersive.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really the bottom line is immersion is 100%.
You guys want to talk about some news real quick?
Ooh.
We got some news.
Good news, everyone.
Love that show.
So the big one this week, one of the big ones, maybe the biggest, Sony is skipping PAX East and GDC because of the coronavirus. Which means we won't get to see the playable demo of Last of Us 2. It was supposed to come out.
They just have their own private thing. That's so stupid of them.
They probably will do something like that. But the thing is they were going to get that game in the hands of players, right? But because of concerns of the coronavirus, they're like, and so that demo is not going to be available at these conventions, which it was going to be.
That's kind of frustrating.
It's kind of frustrating.
It's coming out this year, and what other chance do they have aside from just like a direct? In which case, like you're saying, no one's even going to be able to play it.
Yeah, so. I think it's impacting a lot. I was actually talking to my brother about his own business, and they
You just said that in chat. It's affecting my business too.
Yeah, he says.
Yeah, like as far as like a lot of people that do like actual production in China, they're not able to put out products because whole factories are being shut down.
Wait, is it really this bad? Or are people just being like really careful here? Like,
it's completely controlled by the government, so we don't know what's real or not. Honestly, that's what I'm hearing. Like,
no,
I don't
you're
know
right.
If it's, like,
you're right.
Controlled by the government, like it was created by them. That's the theory. But like, it's the knowledge of it is being completely controlled. So I have no fucking idea.
It could be a lot worse than it actually. I'm not trying to like fearmonger, but China's definitely a country that likes to look a lot better than it is. You know what I mean? So they're gonna try and save face in any possible way.
That's true.
And so even though like the majority of the countries in quarantine, they're like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's only 2 billion people.
Right. So so yeah, we don't really know. You're absolutely right. And it is causing problems. So yeah, that's a big deal. Sony, they don't want their people getting sick, and I guess that's valid.
Wait, so Faye was mentioning E3. When is E3 cancellation happening?
E3's in June.
So it is happening this year, though.
E3's in June.
Remember we were talking about E3 being canceled forever. Didn't we talk about this in one of our news reports?
Well, yes and no. So Sony as well as I think a couple other. I mean, Nintendo's been out of E3 for a while. They do their Treehouse, but that's it. Sony's pulled out of E3 completely. And they did that last year as well, so I don't think that's big news. But I do agree that I think E3 is dying. Right? It's there's no real need for it now in the day of the internet. I know, right? Except for me wanting to go to
my childhood dream.
Yeah, my childhood dream too, homie.
Yeah.
So, I think that we're going to see E3 decline more and more, especially like after watching the Game Awards this year. The Game Awards basically did like a mini E3 and it was all live streamed. They didn't have to have like a bunch of people there, I just don't think there's necessarily a point, and especially if the Game Awards continues to grow. In that regard, where they're basically like shifting the environment of this big game expo to being all online and all streamable. Then
the companies are already trying to like signify themselves independently, like you're saying the Treehouse, PS4 is dropping out of everything, or Sony is. So like they could all have their own E3s 100 times a year, and we could just be like, I only want to watch Nintendo anyway. So that's even better for me because I don't have to, sit there for 3 days until Nintendo comes on E3, So it almost is a smarter decision to not have E3, even though that hurts my heart to say.
Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely not going away this year, but I could see within the next. I give it 5 years. Unless they really like
unite,
take a turn and revolutionize what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think within the next 5 years we're gonna see E3 die off. Yeah. So another bit of news. Moving on, Witcher 3, which I have also been playing recently.
Oh, how's that?
It's
Wait, one more time.
it's like grown up Zelda, homie. Like it's dope.
Wait, what game? I looked down.
The Witcher 3.
Oh yes, everyone's been like trying to force me to play that.
So this is
Supposedly
a
better than
big deal.
Skyrim.
They added cross save between PC and Nintendo Switch.
What?
The reason why I'm not happy about this is I just bought it for PlayStation.
Oh God, why? Why'd you get it for a not PC?
Well, because I wanted to play it on my PlayStation. I should have gotten it for Nintendo Switch and PC so that I could cross save between, because
Use your
that would be
PS4
dope.
controller on your PC.
Yeah, I know, but I can't play my whatever. Anyway.
No, I know. I'm just fucking with you.
But it's cool. Like that's a really awesome thing to do. Like,
Yeah, that's
you know,
incredible.
I could be playing my PS, or you know, I could be playing on my PC, and then I'm gonna go somewhere for the weekend, but I want to take my game with me, transfer my save, bring my Switch with me.
It's actually
be able to play it.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
really
the
dope.
next thing being Xbox and Nintendo or Sony, or why can't I think of company names? Microsoft and Nintendo are probably the next inevitable like choice to do something like that for games because they're like sharing properties now.
Microsoft and Nintendo have been really close lately.
Yeah,
Something I want to
Nintendo-
mention
yeah.
too. This is a community suggestion. Where was this? I believe that Shamali posted it somewhere, and now I can't find it. So,
Post
but-
in the chat, Jamale.
oh, here it is. I found it.
Found it.
So the reason I'm mentioning this now is Witcher's CD Projekt Red, which so is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, CD Projekt Red announced today that when Cyberpunk releases, you can buy it for Xbox, right? For your Xbox One.
Okay.
And then when the Xbox Series X comes out, they will give you the Series X version of it for free.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
If
for a
you
$10
bought it for the Xbox.
I remember
right?
they
So-
did this for Xbox One, and they still charged you for the next game. It was like $10, trade in your old game, and they'll like.
So it's not
upgrade.
Xbox that's doing it though. It's CD Projekt
Oh.
Red that's doing it.
Oh,
so
new-
if
new twist.
yeah, so they're basically saying, "Hey, you shouldn't have to buy the game multiple times for multiple platforms. You buy it once, we're going to give you the version when it's
Oh,
available."
wow. That's the future of gaming, right there.
I guess it's
that's
both,
like
yeah.
that's gaming
Shamali's
in
right.
a nutshell. Where like I just want to play Cuphead. Okay, I buy Cuphead.
Here's
what
the
platform do you
article
want to
if you guys
play it
wanna
on
check it out.
now? And you could just move it from console to console, or literally just a computer.
That would
chip
be nice.
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, like PC will be the finale. It's the beginning and the end of gaming, in my opinion. Like everything will be a PC in the end, or like everything will merge into one in some way. It's gotta like your TV is just going to be a computer that you put a Nintendo chip in.
Right.
I'm like, cool, I can play Zelda now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was cool. I think that's a big move. That's like good guy CD Projekt Red. They're missing out. Like, let me give you an example. Diablo 3, I've bought like 3 times. Destiny, I've bought like 4 times, you know, like for different consoles or
Yeah.
whatever, you know? So like, if I could have bought it once for one system and then that transfers over to the next system, that would have been huge.
That'd be great.
know.
This is just discs, and everyone's like using a different media property. It's like, oh, he's using cartridges. They're using disc. This is using Steam.
Yeah.
Like, they're all gonna focus into one thing eventually.
Adam bought Diablo 3 9 times.
Holy shit.
Oh man.
He's like, it was all on PC, but I just really liked it.
Oh my god. That's
How is
crazy.
that possible? That's incredible.
Uh,
not even
that's
mad.
dedication, dude. That's dedication.
Mindar says that's a lot. More than one.
Next bit of news, we got Eli Roth, who is an actor / director, is directing the Borderlands movie, and production
Dun, dun,
starts later this
dun.
year. That's kind of cool.
It is,
He's known
and-
for like horror movies, which is interesting.
It's gonna be very gory, I think, is what that is.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be like beyond R-rated. If the games are already like as pushed as they can be gore-wise, the movie's gonna be absurd. I could see it being like Sin City style animation, or not animation, like cinematography too, where it's like kind of that almost animation but still real.
Oh yeah.
I could see that a lot. Like for a
Why is
movie
that?
like this.
Why is that a movie of all the movies or like all
I don't
video
know.
games become movies? Why Borderlands? I mean,
Well,
is there a
probably 'cause
story
they
there
just
that's like
ended
really
it.
important?
They just ended the series on their like quote unquote biggest note. I personally thought the story was not
I
as
heard
good as
that
2.
Borderlands, the writing in Borderlands 3 was atrocious.
I honestly wish I liked playing it
heard
because I
that.
played it with a friend, but honestly, I could take that entire memory of Borderlands 3 away and be happy with Borderlands 2. Because I'm not gonna lie, they should have stopped. After
The only one I
Yeah.
played through, and I loved it. I loved Borderlands 1. That's the only one I played through. I tried playing the pre-sequel and Borderlands 2, and I just could not get into them.
Didn't
Yeah.
someone make a joke about Borderlands 3 like writing style? It was like, it's like we just take all the latest memes on the latest like jokes and we just
Basically.
cram them in there basically, and that's the writing.
Yeah.
Any
it's
kind of
basically-
context? No, just throw it in there.
There's
Right.
a lot of no context, and like a lot of the scenarios are just like, okay, what the fuck am I doing now? This random character's just saying some random shit to me, and I don't even know what's going on. Like for 90 missions.
Fat rip.
Fat rip indeed.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll see that movie because I can't
not
say that I
sure.
really enjoy. So what I enjoyed about the Borderlands games was the gameplay and the looting
Yeah,
and that.
exactly.
Like the writing actually always
Yeah.
me, I burped. Irritated me. I always hated it.
During the things like when
Yeah.
I'm streaming, I was like, okay, I'm not paying attention. And also, they would always talk over you, like with the little like voice boxes or whatever. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh right, your mission right now is," and you know what I mean. And it would talk while you were playing.
Yeah.
And I would literally shut the fuck up. I'm trying to
Yeah,
play.
and Claptrap is such a dickhead.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my god, hate
And
Claptrap.
I'm not. I mean, mini spoiler alert. I mean, like 4 characters have died so far in the entire series that were main characters. So like, I don't really know what the fuck they're gonna do. There was so much story that I already didn't like in Borderlands 3. I can't imagine how they're gonna make a movie good at all. Sonic did well apparently though. So
I heard Sonic's awesome.
Sonic,
I
I
really
need
want
to
to see
see
it. I
it.
heard it's so
I actually heard it was
good.
amazing. Like what?
Yeah,
I heard it was actually pretty decent too. That's surprising.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were all ready for it to be like shit on. I was
Yeah.
shitting on it pre-launch, and I'm not now. I might actually see it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna see it. Maybe not in theaters because I doubt I could get Chelsea to go see it. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, go by
But,
yourself.
Just lie to her. Be like,
yeah.
we're seeing this movie you want to see, and then
You ever
go
seen a movie
Sonic.
by yourself? It's really fun. I saw John Wick alone. And it
I've
was
seen,
sad.
yeah,
really
I've seen
sad.
movies. I usually,
For fun.
honestly, the only time I see
Why is it
movies by
sad?
myself is when I'm super depressed.
Okay, maybe that was slightly the case. But
Like Hot Tub Time Machine, that was a selfer, you know.
You're like sweet movie, bro. Oh
Wow.
shit, no one's there.
This is so sad. We
Yeah.
just like threw under the bus. Like, I only do it when I'm depressed. Oh yeah, yep.
I mean,
It's
God,
fun
that's
when you have no friends and it's pretend to have friends. You're like talking to the guy next to you. He's like, "Shut up."
it's like shut the fuck up. I'm on a date, dude. Like,
She seems nice.
she seems nice. Who the hell are you?
Sir, please stop.
That's
Sir,
so
please
funny.
stop.
Jesus. Final bit of news I have today, and this is really fitting for what we talked about today. Both what Colin was talking about earlier, and also, what I was talking about. Dreams released this week for the PS4, and people are already making amazing things, like making just amazing content on Dreams. If you guys don't know what Dreams is a game creation engine, like a
Yeah.
fully flushed out game creation engine on the PS4.
Wow.
Is it? I'm just. I don't know. I'm really hesitant to have faith in this. You know.
Go look it
Yeah,
up,
it's-
man. Go look it
I
up.
will
It looks
say that-
amazing.
Games like Mario Maker, I'm gonna just reference Mario Maker, have been very successful because they were like tweaked heavily and like played heavily by the creators before they launched something like this. I don't think they would launch something that would make half-assed games like Roblox. Which
Well,
is
this
gar-
game's been in development for
Roblox?
years.
is that the game? Is that the name of
Years.
it? Roblox?
Roblox.
Does anyone know what I'm
Roblox?
talking
I
about?
know what you're talking about.
It's like a children's version of what we're talking
Yeah.
about right now, basically.
This game
Fuck
looks
everyone in
amazing.
the chat that plays that.
And I might as well say it here. I bought this game for Adam. Comics and Coffee. I bought it for you, homie. It should be on its way soon. Cause like I want to see the stuff that you make in this game. So,
I'm all for letting the community be creative. My one thing is it kind of seems like the game creators kind of get lazy at a certain point and they take ideas from the community, which is why like games like Mario Maker and this come to light. And then they take ideas from the community straight up because the community can often do it better.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I
what I've
agree.
seen at least.
it looks freaking amazing. Colin, I highly suggest you go check out some of the stuff people have made. Like, I don't know how people are gonna do like play testing and stuff,
That's
but
the only issue.
yeah, I'd say
Is it
that's the only
co-op?
issue.
Can it
but-
be like made like online?
Sounds like it's online.
Yeah, no, everything's shareable, so you can
But like,
there's
can you make like co-op games like where you?
yeah, I believe so. You can make
Mario
just
Party.
about everything, from my understanding. Like
That's
whatever
really
the fuck you want to
insane.
make.
You know how
It's
many game designers
crazy.
are going to come out of this? I wonder if it's a
Yeah.
recruiting tool.
It is
Ooh.
actually that's part of what their plan was. Like
I don't know. I'm
the
just,
vision of this
Is there coding
system is-
involved? Can you do coding at all, or?
I have no idea.
I just feel like there's just, if you make a framework for someone, they have to operate within this framework, right? Like that's
Yeah.
just all there is to it. So like,
It's on PS4.
But
don't
it
know.
seems like the framework is huge. Like literally, Adam is like, you could make the music while I'm working on a game. Like, it's all like in there. You can do like the sound, the visuals, the gameplay.
Mhm.
Sounds like you can make any type of game. Apparently.
and it only runs on the PS4, right? Like it's a game.
Oh, that's trash.
Yeah, it is
What the fuck are you? Why is that not on PC?
because it was developed by Sony.
Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. It's crap. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna be amazing. I'm just sad.
Yeah, it
I have a
looks
PS4,
freaking
but I
amazing.
I know
And
that
medium
Donkey recently had
alcohol,
a
yeah,
a video
that's right.
making fun of it basically, and like the shortcomings of it all. So like there'd be a lot of mediocre games out there, like that's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, but like, I mean, if
Well,
it's
yeah.
if it works out, it's
I mean, that's
cool.
like Mario Maker. How many troll levels do you get through? But then you find that one level that's like, damn, this is like the best gameplay. The creators couldn't even make it this good. Like,
Yeah.
that's a real thing.
Yeah.
I can see some sweet ass shit being made, but also some like you just like throw a poop at the screen and like that's it,
Yeah, poop is fun.
and it splats in your
Yeah.
face.
Merktool asks why would they do this right before the PS5 with more power? So we
It's gonna get
already
ported.
know that the PS5 is backwards compatible to PS4.
Mhm.
So it will be playable on PS5, and my guess is they would
Port.
they probably like do some kind of upgrade for the PS5.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, or to make you buy it again.
I think that's probably more likely.
maybe.
Yeah, to make you buy it.
But
again.
yeah, it's
No,
incredible.
it's pretty likely that things that come out this year will be ported or like free moved over to the PS5. I think that's likely because it is screwing over people otherwise, like
Yeah.
knowingly,
Yeah,
too visibly screwing over people otherwise.
I agree.
Yeah.
We have some topics or a topic.
Ooh, we're about to start the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Podcast. Here we go. That was a sweet intro.
Kind of felt like it. A
little bit. So here's the question. With early access becoming bigger and free post-release content becoming more prevalent, do you think games are becoming less important to play at release?
This release thing actually that kind of touches upon like how the developers are looking for ideas from gamers also. Like they're releasing games way early because maybe they don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. They're like, okay, the community realized this was bad, so we're just gonna change that because they
Yeah.
like are getting worse at playtesting. But that also leads to a yes for games are getting less like needed to play upon release because like you're literally not even getting the whole game or you're getting an alpha version of the game. And very few games are withholding anymore, like Mario. Mario's going to come out and be complete. Cool.
Yeah.
But Halo, you're like, I don't know. There's going to be 10 other maps that aren't even out yet. And like probably several guns and other like
Sure.
systems that aren't even
Sure.
out. So it's just to be expected now from the gamer.
So I think it entirely depends on the game, right? I think with things
Yes.
like shooters, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I think with
agreed.
things like Cyberpunk
Mario's,
2077, which is going to be heavily story oriented and things like that, it's going to be this big experience. That will be a
Yeah.
complete game when it comes
Yeah,
out.
Final Fantasy,
and-
etc.
Yeah. I don't think necessarily Final Fantasy because that's an old.
Ugh.
It's a remake of Final Fantasy 7.
That's
If
fair,
that's what you're
yeah.
talking about, like we
Yeah.
all know the story, so it's not as important necessarily to play it right away.
What a good story.
But yeah, I think that with like battle royales and competitive shooters and things, you're absolutely right. I don't think it's necessary, and sometimes it's probably even better to wait till after release to play the game. But with story driven games, it's definitely I think still valuable, especially to people like us who create content and try and give our opinions and
Yeah.
help
We're constantly
push
like,
stuff
this
forward.
is shitty. Like, we'll say it out loud live on TV. We'll be
Thank
like,
you for the
that's
follow.
bad. They should have fixed this. They this and that. Oh, yeah, follow. But yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Colin?
I don't know. I go back and forth with like early access because you know that like what was that one game? Fortnite was in early access up until recently.
Yeah.
It still feels like it's in beta, honestly. Like it still feels like that game is in beta.
I think it has its place, but a lot of developers unfortunately have used it as not weaponized, that's not the right word, but have like abused
As like an intel mechanism.
Well, no, because here's the thing. I don't mind if people are like, we're making a game and it's not very good right now. We know that. And we want feedback. We don't want you to rate it poorly until it's out, until we feel confident that we are happy with this game,
Mm-hmm.
Hat in Time, a good example, right?
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know, like, because I feel like a lot of games stay in early access because they get your money, like it's not free. You pay money. But again, like, it's your fault, for buying into something. But like, developers can just give up on it, and they still have your money, like. So, I'm not sure. Like, it's a nice concept, but it probably needs to be a little more closely monitored, or like at least like looked into possibly. Because like I said, I know a lot of games that are still in early access that just never really come out of it, and then they don't have to necessarily have reviews. I don't think they get reviews until like they're out of early access.
Not until launch.
Yeah. So. It just seems like I don't know.
Seems like a bitch way to get your game out, honestly. Like, just man up and drop your game.
Kind of, but like by the same token, like you don't have the money to like hire people to do play testing for you, let's say, which is really an important part. Like Steam talks about how important play testing is. So you do a community driven one, but like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know the way forward with this. Like,
this comes down to there being so many companies too now just shitting out games.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like a few big companies, but now it's like everything.
But I also like that people are just shitting out games, so to speak, because now that's higher competition. You
I
get
agree,
like indie games that are coming out all the
There's
time.
some incredible indie games.
Incredible. I mean, like, isn't Cuphead an indie game?
Yeah. So is
10 years in creation though.
So is Swords of Ditto, right?
It probably is.
But that being said, did either of these games have an alpha launch?
Indie, yeah. I don't know actually, but
I know Cuphead
have good reviews. Sword of Ditto has bad reviews, by the way.
Bad?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so does that every game.
Yeah.
I love tons of games that have crappy reviews.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Chamali made a point. Wolson just released and it's getting really mixed reviews on Steam. I've heard nothing but good things from people that I trust about that game, though.
About Sword of Ditto?
Wolson.
Oh, what? I never even heard of that. 1 minute blurb on Wolson.
I don't know much about it. To me, it looks like a Diablo-like. I'm not sure if that's actually what it is, but I've heard nothing but good things. I have not played it. I don't know a ton about it though.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like good examples of like people that went into early access and came out of it without abusing it. I feel like, I think that's the right word. Is abuse. Devolver. What else do they make?
I don't see. Devolver puts out a ton of really cool stuff. I don't see the point in big game studios doing early access. To me, early access seems like something that should almost be exclusive to indie creators.
Completely agree with that.
There's no reason why a AAA studio should need to put something out in early access.
Especially when they didn't used to. Let's talk about like, okay, PS1 and 64 and all those, or even later than that, like, in the Xbox
Dead
days
Cells.
or whatever. Yeah, Dead Cell, all that.
Great example.
A game would just come out and it would be bad or good, but like there'd be none of this testing. They'd just be like, let's be confident that this is gonna be a good game. We have a lot of, it takes time. You're gonna wait 5
Wizard
years.
of Legend.
Ooh, I never heard of that.
I played it on stream the other day. It was awesome.
What?
Yeah.
I saw that. That looks cool.
Wizard Harry.
It was basically like top-down Dead Cells, but you have wizard powers. Like the same concept. It's a roguelike, and yeah, it's really, really fun. I just hopped on Xbox Game Pass on the PC and just hit like, you can do like a random game, like have it suggest a game for you, and that came up and I was like, this looks dope, and I just streamed it. It was super fun.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'd recommend trying it out if you like that style of game.
Oops, you can't hear that, can you?
When you move your face away, no, we cannot hear.
Oh, sorry. No, I pulled up OBS. I was just wondering if you guys could hear that.
Oh no, no.
Not like I'm streaming after this. Wink, wink.
Oh yeah, we'll raid you, homie.
Wink, wink. Yay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Actually, you should go live probably pretty soon.
that's why I'm pulling it all up right now.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. You know what though, as I think indie developers need all the leg up they can get, and like if some people abuse early access, so be it. You know, I think it's more of a freedom than anything, and probably should be allowed and probably should be encouraged in some front, because like I personally have found games that I applied to in early access, and I'm trying to think of a good example of that. I can't think of any right now, but like
time.
was Hat in Time an early access game I applied to? It might
I
have
remember
been.
you kickstarted it when we, or you were
I
talking
was a
about that
slacker backer actually.
when we lived together, and then it came out 3 years later, and it was already in development for like a year or two. Then
Yeah.
it took
Okay.
forever.
So that was a great game example. Another game I actually, did ahead of time was Ukulele, and it was horrible.
That was in
And
early.
That's your favorite game.
Really?
I hate
Yeah, it's his favorite game. He posted about
You
it all
never
the time.
stop talking about how awesome that game is.
Yeah.
literally, and the game has good reviews. I don't understand
That I actually don't get. It has a cult fucking following, dude. It
I
has
don't
a
know why.
fucking diehard following.
So I think this
Maybe
is
I should play it.
I think this is another example of
You can have you don't buy it. You can use my library.
Literally,
Use
this is
his-
how much he loves
But
it. He's
let me
literally
throw
gonna
this
give it
out
to
there.
me.
This is just a theory. Okay? I think this is an example of nostalgia glasses. You look back at Banjo-Kazooie as one of your all-time favorite games, and I'm
Best
not
game ever.
saying it's right. I'm not saying it's not a
good.
good game, but what they tried to
Okay,
make
good.
was basically like a new Banjo-Kazooie, but they didn't really evolve the
Yes.
concept, right? And so you got into it and you played it, and you basically expected to play like what you would consider this like
There
modern
was like a wink,
generations.
wink, nudge, nudge, though, that this was Banjo-Kazooie 3.
Yeah.
It was like, like this is Banjo-Kazooie 3.
They literally use the word spiritual success.
But I also don't like
No.
Banjo-Tooie. Banjo-Tooie was a terrible game in my opinion, and I didn't like that from the start.
I
Like,
don't
played
not
that.
like Banjo-Tooie, but I see where Colin's
How many
coming
times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
I've
It is-
literally
it
forced
is
you to play this game.
grueling. It is gruelingly painful. You're right. I just like the exterior of it.
You
But
know what
once you
video game
actually
is
play it,
really good and
it's
totally holds up, stood the test of time is Conquer's Bad for a Day.
God damn you, you motherfucker.
Game sucks.
Arguably the worst voice acting in a game with voice acting in it.
Dude,
It's
I played through
pretty
that on
bad.
stream. It was a blasty.
This is a blast. It's really the remastered is flawless.
That's
It's
what I
amazing.
played. I played the
Oh,
remaster.
that's great.
Yeah, and it
And
was a
64
lot of fun.
version is like,
It's trash.
hey, it's
Yeah.
like horrible.
Well,
horrible.
one guy did all the voice acting himself.
Really? I did
Yes.
not know that.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick. I'm
yeah,
actually slightly more impressed.
yeah. He did all the voice acting.
By
for
the end, he's
entire
like, "Can
game.
I just do shitty at
And
this?"
they
because
actually
I'm
used
tired?"
the same audio for the remaster, but they didn't have
That's cool.
they didn't have to compress it as much to put it on like the
Yeah.
Xbox, so it sounded a lot better.
That's my.
So
thought
what
is
you're
that it was,
hearing
like,
in the
just
in
older
the
tech.
64 version is like really poor audio compression.
Yeah, that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Yeah,
So
Banjo-Kazooie is amazing.
yeah.
Where were we going with that? Oh, early release was the whole topic. Let's talk about Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Best graphics.
We can actually, if you're ready to go live, we can wrap it up and send you a raid. We got a good group here. We can raid your
Ba-ba-dum.
booty.
Bum, bum, bum. What's that
What are you
from?
playing?
Dun, 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 dun.
I am playing.
Dun, dun,
So
dun,
we're on a
dun,
Zelda-thon
dun,
right
dun,
now. I'm
dun,
playing
dun.
through every Zelda game.
Yes.
And
Love
we're
it.
playing Four Sword Adventures right now. It's
Is
actually
Four
our
Swords
canon
canon?
in our Zelda-thon. It is
So
actually.
here's the
canon.
question then: if you're playing Four Swords, are you going to play Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons?
I'm probably gonna play one of them. I'm not gonna
Okay.
play both. I think because it's like almost playing. The
They're
same game
awesome.
twice.
Those games.
They are
great.
awesome. I think
Yeah.
I will play one of them,
Yeah.
and I maybe decide that the community let the community decide which one
Yeah.
of the two. Or maybe I'll get a
Nice.
hacked one where like it has the secret ending in it. You know what I
Ooh
mean?
la la.
So when you beat one and then you put the code into the other,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
that second one you can fight Ganon at the end. Actually,
Yeah. Do that. You should do that. You
yeah,
should-
that's what I should do.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Should
remember
you
which one
download
I
a
liked
code?
better. I think I liked Ages better.
I think I liked Ages better. Like
Yeah.
it had slightly better character development. I think.
Yeah, I
Dang.
believe so. That's the one I
Yeah.
like better. Okay, let's pick. Should we pick a game of the month, or should we wait until?
Didn't I had some suggestions last time. We didn't even do mine.
Yeah, I
garbage.
wasn't
I'm just
gonna ever do
kidding.
that game.
What game? I wasn't gonna ever do that game.
All right, Colin. Do you have a way that I can play that without spending money on it? Because I'm not super
I might be able to
What
give you
game?
my.
savvy.
We didn't mention the name of the game yet.
We did mention the game like fucking a month ago.
What was it?
It was Outlast.
$5.
Oh,
on-
Outlast. I don't want to fucking talk about that. Garbage. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine.
I got him.
Okay, in my
It's-
opinion, Outlast was a really scary game until I played any other horror game, and then I was like, "That's basic."
Okay.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think it's a basic.
What
one.
about Don't Starve Together? Would you play that game?
I played Don't Starve
It's
Together. but
solely based on having friends to play with.
That's true.
Completely not.
Yeah, I will play with both of you. I will take time this month to play with both of you.
All right.
But to
I'll
me,
play
my
that.
huge strike against it. is
I'm
that
not
I
a
literally
huge
can
fan
play
of
it alone.
survival games, but I'll play it with you.
Yeah.
I'll
I
play it
wasn't
with you.
either until I played this game.
Or until you
Right.
play Terraria, or until you play the Star version of Terraria, or
Star,
until you play...
dude, Starbound is the best.
That's the one they say
Starbound
is
is
the best.
so good. Starbound is so good. I love Starbound.
Everyone's saying that's the best out of Terraria and Stardew Valley.
It
all
is.
Those, they
It's
say Starbound is
so
the best.
freaking good. I love that game. Well, because I would like to do Swords of Ditto, but let's do that for March. Yeah, I'll see what I can do about playing your game this week, Colin, because I love it.
Okay.
But yeah, I do
I mean,
agree with what they're saying. Like a good horror game is like not to be trifled with. Like
Don't
this
Starve
is
Together could be done though
stupid.
within this week. Like that's a short enough game that it could be a game of the week, and then next month could be sort of Ditto.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because then we can actually play it through. I might want to even beat Sort of Ditto
Because
before
in
weekend.
1 week will be. Well, I guess it won't. It'll be the March 1st. Will be our
Oh my god, are you joking? And we have a leap day.
next Sunday.
Leap year.
So and then
Like
next
leap
month
year?
could be sort of Ditto. So
Wait, a week from today will be the 3rd.
maybe we could pick one day too where we play the sort of Ditto on stream.
Well, we're gonna do Sunday instead of Monday this next week. So the next podcast will be this coming Sunday. Correct?
Okay,
Everyone
Probably.
cool? Yep.
that works for me.
Probably.
Shrugs. I'm just fucking around.
Okay. I'm getting ready to
He's
raid
like,
you.
don't do this to me.
I'm getting ready to
live?
raid you.
Are you
Are you live?
Josh?
Hold up. I don't know when it's kicking in. I literally just clicked it. Wasn't thinking about it.
Okay.
Like 10 seconds. Probably, right?
Yeah.
If it lets you, we'll do it.
All right. We're going.
Do it.
I hit it.
We're,
Okay.
we're rating that guy. I
We're
know
rating
Oh my
him soon. He's
God.
cool.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
He's got Johnny Bravo hair.
Man, I'm pretty.
There you go. Here we go, guys. Everyone, thank you for coming. I'm Paul. Ryugami-san is my Twitch. You're here. I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. And I'm here with Josh and Colin. If you guys want to shout out your socials real quick. And
If you want to get to know me, literally stay in the chat. Like, because we're rating me right
There you
now.
go.
I'll be there too.
Yay!
Cool.
You can get to know him. He
our
sometimes
socials are
streams.
down below. We're going to go ahead and raid right now. Everyone have an awesome night. See you
Woohoo,
later.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Bye. That was fun.